and into Gabby Williams. Got hit in the forehead, and it caused 2 black eyes.
Just.
And you can still see some of the remnants of them, and now she's sporting the bloody lip. She is as tough as they come.
Look,
Lexie Hull walked into the matchup against the Chicago Sky already battered, 2 black eyes, and walked out with a busted lip. And yet, she still delivered one of the grittiest performances of her career. But it wasn't just her toughness on the court that had fans talking. It was what she said afterward that lit the fire. Indiana didn't just beat Chicago, they proved they're no underdog in this playoff race. They're carving out a brand new identity, and Hull's post-game words might go down as the defining quote of the Fever's playoff push. Drop a fired up for the Fever. If you're riding this wave with them, let's go.
That's a W. Made it out. All you gotta do is keep making it out. Woo! That was.
How do you find a way to win when your superstar is shut down and half your roster is running on tape and grit? That was the challenge Indiana faced the moment Caitlin Clark announced her season was over. Just days before the regular season wrapped, Clark delivered the news herself, saying, "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season." She'd been battling a stubborn groin injury since mid-July, one that refused to heal no matter how much treatment or rest she gave it. For weeks, fans clung to the hope of a late comeback, convincing themselves she might step back onto the court when it mattered most. Instead, the announcement hit like a gut punch. Suddenly, the Fever's entire playoff pursuit had to be reinvented without their brightest star.
Caitlin Clark released a statement saying this: "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me, and for the Fever, brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs."
And it wasn't just Clark. The Fever have felt snakebitten all season, and the injury list only proved it. Sophie Cunningham? Out for the year. Sydney Colson? Torn ACL. Chloe Bibby? Stuck on the report with lingering knee trouble. Ari McDonald? Done with a broken foot. That's an entire rotation gone in the blink of an eye. Picture it, Indiana trying to gear up for the final playoff push without their franchise star, their emotional enforcer, their backup floor general, a key stretch forward, and a steady veteran voice. Instead of polishing lineups and building momentum, the coaching staff was stuck playing musical chairs with the roster night after night, just hoping to survive.
End of the day, she's been working her butt off to be able to get back, and we've kind of run out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner. And I think we've all been very open and upfront with her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing. To be in a position that you need to be in to play at this time of the year, we just ran out of time to get her there.
Head coach Stephanie White didn't bother hiding her frustration. Speaking candidly, she admitted, "It's frustrating, all the injuries that she's had." Clark's groin issue, White explained, simply ran out of calendar. "We ran out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner." The message was clear. Clark's long-term health mattered far more than forcing a rushed return. General Manager Amber Cox doubled down, reminding everyone that the priority wasn't stealing a win in late September, it was preserving Clark's career. But the reality hit hard. Strip away Clark's and Ari McDonald's playmaking, Sophie Cunningham's toughness, Sydney Colson's steady minutes, and Chloe Bibby's range, and suddenly the Fever were left with a roster carrying zero margin for error. Every possession carried weight. Every substitution became a gamble. And yet, Clark never carried herself like someone sidelined. She clapped for every basket, popped up for every high five, and barked encouragement through every huddle. Even in street clothes, the cameras found her, eyes locked in, voice sharp, presence undeniable. For Indiana fans, her leadership stayed electric, even when her sneakers never touched the hardwood.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play, and then to have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important thing.
That presence mattered because Indiana's playoff picture was hanging by a thread. Entering the week, the Fever clung desperately to the 8th seed, just a step ahead of the Los Angeles Sparks. One misstep and their postseason hopes could vanish overnight. Survival became the mission. Could this depleted roster hold the line long enough to punch their ticket? Could they find ways to thrive without their superstar without losing belief in themselves? It stopped feeling like a basketball problem and started feeling like a test of will. The build-up to the Chicago matchup was a pressure cooker, stripped of glamour and hype. For Indiana, it was all about grit, execution, resilience, and answering the moment. And when the ball tipped, that crucible became their fuel. What could have broken them instead ignited them, sparking an explosive response against the Chicago Sky.
If a newcomer in Bree Hall plays tonight, Boston on a kick out. Mitchell. Oh, she's hot to start. Mitchell finds Dantas, who rolls and lays it in.
What does 97-77 really mean once you look past the numbers? On paper, it reads like a routine 20-point win. But if you've been following this rivalry, you know it's so much more than that. Indiana didn't just beat Chicago, they owned them, sweeping all 5 meetings this season by an average margin of 24 points. That's not competition, that's domination. For Chicago, it bordered on humiliation. And yet, here's the twist, a team with that kind of control wasn't cruising through the standings. Coming into this game, Indiana was clinging to the 8th seed, just a single game ahead of the Sparks. Their margin for error? Practically zero. One misstep here and the pressure could have swallowed them whole. Instead, the Fever flipped the narrative. They took all that fragility, all that uncertainty, and unleashed their most decisive performance right when it mattered most.
Mitchell, will she add to it? Whips it back for Dantas. Kelsey Mitchell putting on a show here at Indy.
Look at the spin on the ball. Just one dribble over the head pad.
Mitchell's been brilliant on a kick out to Howard. Mitchell bouncing. Howard, the left hand.
And then getting a stop on the defensive end. I know Coach Stephanie White is happy with her team with that.
Mitchell being hounded by Atkins, trying to shake her. Mitchell bounces inside, and Howard gets the roll. Here in the first half. Oh, it's Howard finding Sims, who finishes tight quarters. Howard backing in on Williams. Little shake and bake. And the fadeaway. None of them came in the second quarter. Indiana's just been able to hold Chicago at an arm's length here tonight. And Natasha Howard putting together one of her best games of the season.
Been missing that little bunny, just the possession before, comes up through the contact, goes straight to her chest. Not a...
Sims finds some space and can't get the roll. Howard charging, tips it, comes down with it, and flips it home. She is the team's leading scorer with Angel Reese not available. Oh, lob it inside. Boston spins and finishes. So far in the second half, it's been one step forward, one step back for the Sky. Boston turns the corner on Cardoso, banks it home, and a foul. Good hands there by Williams. Petty powers through traffic and is able to finish. Howard's going behind the back on Ban, muscles her way to the rim, draws the foul, and flips it home, and one powers.
I love watching these players.
Here's Michaela Timpson checking in for her first minutes and banking it home. Powers bouncing, Hull. Oh, had it denied at the rim. Oh, McTome free, and I think
This guy, they just got to get into their sets a little bit quicker.
here's Hull off the Boston screen. She hits, and Indiana is
I love the way that she's been able to elevate her game.
the youngsters out of South Carolina, who both are having strong seasons, as Indiana has opened up 3 for 3 with Lexie Hull. 3 points here tonight at 14 minutes off the bench. Turner gets inside, kick out. Hull who buries a 3.
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You don't need to be sorry. This is what it is." And when I'm playing, like, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, "Oh shit, he's still there." So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine?
Yep.
All right.
Nothing's changed.
All right, perfect.
The resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we brought in with O and Shay and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every single day.
By my rough count, the Fever have beaten the Sky by 12,000 points in their 5 games this season. I'm not perfectly sure on that number, but it seems correct. As they smack the Chicago Sky yet again, basically, they've already been in a good playoff position, but cement a hold on a playoff spot. Kelsey Mitchell, brilliant once again. Lexie Hull playing through a busted lip after she's played through black eyes, which came from the knot on her forehead, which, is sort of exemplifies the Fever season, the way they fought through things. You got all players on crutches and carts before the game. Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, ruled out for the season. It makes you think what could have been. But what is a smacking for the Sky whenever they face them, and a playoff spot almost assured for the Indiana Fever.
Get the brooms out. Get the brooms out. I got my dustpan handy. We sweeping up the Chicago Sky. They are toast. They are done. We gonna hold on to our broom for this entire blog. Listen, the Indiana Fever just absolutely smoked the Chicago Sky. What a win. What a win.